can't see.
It's prepared.
You are actually prepared. Nicely done. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could stand for the pledge.
Flag of the United States of America, and to the
Republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, justice for all.
School strives to promote and provide growth experiences in learning, leadership, and living.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown,
Here.
Ms. Casey Mayer,
Here.
Mr. Ramos,
Present.
Ms. Munoz,
Here.
Mr. Nagel is here, Mr. Sake,
Present.
Mr. Giovanni.
All right, that brings us to public participation. This is the portion of our meeting when any member of the public can address the Board of Education on any topic. We welcome your comments and will carefully listen to your concerns. We will not be able to engage in a dialogue during public participation, but when appropriate, we will direct the administration to follow up. Presentations are limited to no more than 5 minutes per person, with a total time limit of 30 minutes for public participation. If you wish to make personal charges or complaints against individual employees, volunteers, or students of the district, we request that you send the board your concerns in writing rather than stating those during public comments. All right, and we have public comment from Matt Garling regarding the ISBE report.
Thank you. I don't know all of you. Sorry for the glasses on and off so I can read. I don't know all of you. And I know you may not all know me. I've lived in West Chicago for over a decade. I actually served as chair of the D94 referendum committee back in the day a number of years ago. That was the funding for the wing and so on that's been added on. I've served on committees on D33 board, been a city council member, and either this fall either have or have had 3 kids that are either in the high school or have come through the high school. Thank you for taking a little time to listen to me today. I am concerned about action taken today possibly being hasty. Action today, I believe, taking action today versus later, I believe will take D94 a step backwards, perhaps taking multiple years for that to be recovered the ground that we have right now in the district. I'd ask you, please do not take action today, but be very deliberate in completing your own research, obtaining all the facts from all parties involved, including staff as well as others and governing bodies, and have your follow-up action and next few steps ready to go and ready to publicize when you take that first step. Because not just one step being ready to being implemented without the plan and communication of others will really put this district backwards. Let me explain why I say that. If you act today, mere weeks after receiving the ISBE report, you have not had a public meeting since the ISBE report was first read and discussed in that public meeting in May. In fact, you've had 2 quickly scheduled, meetings like today with a minimum 48-hour notice, I think, to the public, and canceled the 1 regularly scheduled meeting that was there in between. So how should myself, other parents in the district, or the public interpret action today other than a hasty or knee-jerk reaction behind closed doors with canceling of meetings and only 2 rapidly scheduled meetings in between? Maybe you've done more than that, and you cannot share that prior to. Maybe you've done more work prior to the ISB report, and obviously can't share that. Maybe you haven't, but the parents and public cannot ever know that because it's a topic you can't discuss outside of executive session. Thus, leaving and doing action today will be interpreted as hasty and without thorough consideration. If you as the D94 board appear to act without thorough consideration, what's the effect on our teachers, our staff, and our administrators of D94? How do they not fear that any time a parent or outsider complains to the board that you'll come for their job? If the teachers and staff are fearful, what effect does that have on our students, which is the purpose for us all being here? And what effect does that have on the quality of education in our district? If as the D94 board you appear to act without thorough consideration, how many other parents or others are you inviting to come to your meetings to address grievances directly to you, expecting quick action, and without talking to the school staff or administration possibly first? So I know you have a choice and you have a chance today to act slowly, deliberately, and be ready to communicate multiple steps when you choose to communicate, as opposed to just one, which I fear will put this district back and be taken inaccurately and as hasty action by both the public, parents, teachers, and staff. Lastly, in closing, I have a short petition with a few signatures on it, given that I only had one day to do this, or today, a few hours, that simply says, please do not rush to a quick solution or irreversible actions related to the ISBE report. Please do take the time to do your own review and inquiry, set a course to fulfill and respond to the ISBE, and keep building our community's high school for the future. At this time and before the responses are completed to the ISBE, we believe it is inappropriate to dismiss any members of the administration. If possible, may I just leave this with you? And that is all the comments that I had. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your comments. All right, there being no more public to possibly make comment, we'll be looking at executive session, looking for a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Hang on.
No problem.
Ms. Casey Mayer,
Aye.
Mr. Remus, Ms. Munoz,
Aye.
Mr. Nagel, aye. Sake. No. Mr. Jovan. Brown.
Aye.
Session starts at 4:07.
All right, we are in closed session on Friday, June 16th, 2023, starting at 4:07 p.m. for the purposes of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. Actually, we need to get those signs up and get the door closed. Giving the streaming some time to make sure it's caught up. All right, that should be enough time. All right, we are back in open session. The recommended motion is to accept the mutual separation agreement between Dr. Moses Cheng and the Board of Education as presented, contingent upon acceptance by Dr. Moses Cheng.
So moved. Second.
Call, please.
Ramos?
Discussion?
Discussion.
Want to say that as with many past resignations, it's very, very sad to have to accept the resignation of someone who has done as much for the district as Dr. Chang has. And I find
I think what's happening here is probably the worst possible thing for this district. There are other options, and there's been no interest in striking a middle ground or looking at alternatives. This is a knee-jerk reaction, and I feel sorry for the district. I really do. I put my heart and soul in this district for a long time, and I'm speechless in so many ways to deal with this. It's not the way things are supposed to happen, and especially for a public body. And I don't know what kind of example we are setting for the students, but it is not a good one. It's not a good one for the adults either.
good governance.
All right, roll call, please.
Ramos? Munoz?
Aye.
Sake?
No.
Ika?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel? No.
All right, the motion carries. And I have a statement to read. The Board of Education of Community High School District 94 and Superintendent Dr. Moses Cheng decided to end their contractual relationship effective June 30th, 2023. It is important to the parties that this mutual decision is the result of a difference in political, educational, and philosophical approaches. And at this point, looking for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the streaming will still be active for a little bit yet.
I've 12.